All right, everybody. Welcome to episode number 83 of the Last Breath Huntcast. This is an atypical day for us. We are coming at you live on a Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Typically, our Huntcasts roll out at 6 a.m. on only Mondays, but we got a double dipper week for you this week. So in this episode, we're going to be introducing the newest member of our team and their partner, which you guys already know, but we're going to take a deep dive in getting to know our newest set of people. No, we are not talking about Cody and Homie. We are talking about Logan and Ali.
Whoop, whoop. Me and you.
Yep. But before we get going, here are a few reminders. Every Monday, brand new episode of our Huntcast, Spotify, Libsyn, and iTunes. You can watch that Huntcast live on our YouTube channel, sometimes on Monday evening, sometimes on Tuesday evenings. And next Monday, we are putting out our Coyote special. So episode 84 is going to be all about coyotes for the year. And we're going to take a deep dive, things we've learned, things we've messed up, things that will hopefully be highly educational for you. Our partner podcast, which is the Whitetail Legacy podcast, rolls out every single Wednesday. That's Prime Rib Day at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. You can also watch their video huntcast on YouTube on Sundays. Looking into the future, we've got a brand new series rolling out. It's called Shed Kings. We're simply going to travel all over the Midwest, look at monster shed antlers, and ask the one simple question: where were these found, in an effort to understand how we can find more antlers this spring. So, again, we already hinted about this about 45 seconds ago, but we're going to get to know Logan and Ali on a really deep level tonight. And we've just got a lot of questions, and we're going to see how they respond. Garrett, are you ready?
Yeah, you kind of had me, like, I was thrown off there for the Thursday thing. I was like, wait, it's just Friday night.
I swear to
I'm
God.
like, wait, what witchery are you trying to pull here? And then it totally made sense to go, the double drop. And we forgot, like, the other new segment is with the addition of them, our OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
Now that's going to be fully backed by Ali and Logan. I'm totally kidding, by the way.
Is this one of those ones where, like, you get the money and we don't know that we're on there?
Yeah, you just...
It's like you're running it for us, but we don't even know.
Like a pseudo-rapey underground porn website.
Yeah, we give them a GoPro, but we still have the ability to turn it on whenever we want.
Hey, guys, just go get really fucked up in that room. We bought you a handle of vodka and just see what happens.
Could you imagine?
I don't even think we would need, like, a fifth. And
No, I would be dead.
things would get weird, yeah.
No, but in all seriousness, this is going to be fun, and we're excited to have you guys, to officially introduce you guys.
Yep.
So.
Cool.
Round out the fourth squad. So we got the North boys, now we got the North girls, we got the South boys, and we got the Central gang, which would be Cody and Homie. So let's start out easy. How old are you guys? What are your names? So that way the listeners, if they're listening for the first time, getting to know your voice for the first time, they can put a voice to a name.
I'm old enough to the point where I have to think about how old I am.
That's exactly
That's
what
a
I
good
was
point.
thinking. Every time,
Yeah.
it's like kind of like the fifth season thing that we were just
Yeah.
talking about. I'm 29.
And what's your name?
My name is Logan Bulkus.
And how are you related to Garrett?
Well, I'm his wifey, of course.
And who are you?
I'm Ali Mangelsdorf, soon to be Ali Golly.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everybody that I'm 29 because I usually think that I am, but I'm only 28.
I know.
Nice.
Now I feel really old because I'm older than you. Dang it.
All right, so
That's not a real name.
Oh, my real name, if anybody, it's Aletha.
Yes,
Aletha.
warrior princess.
Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to scream it like, Aletha! Aletha!
Cousin of Xena.
Alessandra.
We're going the wrong way there.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with you, Ali. What do you do for a living? And then same question for you, Log.
I just got a headache as soon as you said that. This week has been crazy. I work for Sedona Staffing, which is an employment agency, so I do recruiting and HR service for a plethora of companies around the Quad City area, so it's busy.
So job needs filled, Ali finds filler of job.
Yes, and then when people get hurt on job, Allie take care of that. And when people need unemployment on job, Allie take care of that and all this. All
Ali
the fun
work,
stuff.
Ali pissed.
Allie hate COVID. COVID makes my job very hard.
All right. What about you, Log?
I work at Profile by Sanford. Essentially, I do our assistant management, so I'm kind of like the sand of our team. I just fill in the cracks wherever I can, but I most love about my job. I do love the cracks. Oh my god. Oh gosh, that threw me off there.
You can fill my crack anytime.
I was like very
Only
serious, and then I just got very derailed. But that's pretty much what I do. I'm a health coach in a nutshell. That's pretty much it. Health coach.
What is the most difficult situation that you have had to deal with in your current job, Log, in terms of this person's life is drastically derailed itself? They're coming to you for advice. What has been the most sketchy waters that you've ever had to navigate?
Yeah, because in my mind, I just feel like I see a version of Fat Bastard like walking in like, I need help.
I don't remember eating
I
any
just
corn.
want food. Get in my, like that's what I envision. And there's like 115-pound Logan, like,
I can help you. Come this way.
don't step on me. There's no you can't
Don't
have
take
any,
a seat on that forklift.
no tripping hazards in there because
I guess I just, I help people that need help. I mean, however I can help them with their health. Sometimes people start in a pretty rough place, like they came from a doctor and they're, told that they're, if they don't fix something that they might die. Essentially.
Sure.
Death.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's like what Garrett's referencing. Then you have kind of like this the average Joe person that just wants to get healthier, and that's pretty much I help them with just changing their habits and lifestyle. So I love the setup of Profile, and that's why I love what I do.
Sure. So we got a headhunter and a health coach.
Yes.
Headhunter, health coach,
H,
wood
H,
salesman. What I do is not important. Now, number 3.
He's teaching our youth.
What is your favorite game to hunt? Logan, you can take that one first. Favorite thing on earth to hunt. And it can be a thing that you've only done one time. And we're going to open it up starting now to Garrett as well. So all 3 of you have to answer the rest of these.
Honestly, turkey hunting, I guess, because I like them calling back. I don't know, and I like Garrett calling, and I like to move around and chase the birds. And what are we doing this fall, Allie?
We gonna hunt them turkeys.
Yeah, you saw some today, didn't you? I saw them scuttling across your screen on your snap.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Today I went to my grandma's house to pick her up to take her to a doctor's appointment, and there was, I don't know, there was probably 5 or 6 turkeys in her driveway, pretty much, and I was like, come back, pew pew pew. It's almost time.
so can we hunt at grandma's?
Right? Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Be camouflaged in her flower bed.
But that's my favorite, I guess.
She'll bring us cookies.
Yeah, she'll open up the door and the window and we'll grab a cookie. Get back to calling.
Yep.
Chocolate chip cookie in the mouth, slate in hand, gobbler coming in.
Get one of Grandpa's old Milwaukee Ice. Crack a cold one. Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds like a
Jesus.
great combination.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. I'm
There's
in.
nothing like killing a turkey and then chugging the shittiest beer on planet Earth
Well, he also
outside
has
of
Ice
an
House.
O'Doul's.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Turkeys. I mean, I can see that. Oh, why you'd say that?
I mean, I haven't.
They're fun to hunt.
I don't know. I enjoy hunting because I like hunting with people, I guess, and I feel like turkey hunting is a group effort. And then now, I mean, deer hunting with you this season too
It's
was
been my favorite.
that was really fun. I feel like that was when we just, like I said before in that other podcast we did, solidified our friendship. It's yep, okay, let's go.
We have been welded together.
Yeah.
We have welded 2 turds.
Yes.
All right, Mangelsdorf, what about you? Favorite thing to hunt?
Well, it has to be whitetail for now, but I feel like I'm going turkey hunting for my first time this season or this year. And I feel like just the fast pacedness of it, I might have the same feeling that you do about it. So we'll have to ask that question again in a couple of months.
Okay, fair. That's a fair answer. Garrett, how about you?
Well, first off, I think this question's slightly rigged because we're just coming out of deer season where we're all done with deer and turkey's coming around the corner, so it's exciting already.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Because I wonder if
If I ask this question in September, Right.
I love to shoot deer.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
I can tell Allie like loves just deer hunting. Like that's what I noticed most about sitting with her was just the fact that like it made me on my A game because I saw how much she loved it and it reminded me of how much I loved it, honestly.
Way to go.
Yeah. That was
Man,
a
I'm
good
hitting
answer.
deep. Sorry.
You're hitting my
Oh, that's
thigh.
all right.
No.
but that that being said though, turkey hunting is like the perfect mix because deer hunting is super high reward, but lots of patience, a lot of sedentary, hunts, and it's a lot of planning. But in like waterfowl hunting, you still have the camaraderie aspect because you're in a pit or you're in a layout blind, and you can talk and laugh and cut up, but you're
breakfast.
stuck. You can't move. You got your decoys out. Where like turkey hunting, you're with your friends. Like usually we'll have 2 or 3 people together.
Mm-hmm.
You're vocal. You're being interactive. And then if they're not coming to you, well, then we go to them. So you kind of have all of the above on top of the fact that, like unlike waterfowl or upland where you're trying to shoot a limit, you've got a tag for one bird. So you still it's not as amplified as whitetail hunting and shooting a big buck when your target bucks, but you still killed that bird, So I would honestly say, and this, I mean, whitetail takes cake for me, but my second would honestly be rifle antelope hunting.
Sure. For the same reason, kind of as turkey, it's a little bit more camaraderie involved, a little bit.
But but it's elevated. Like there is a
Trophy aspect of
and
it,
maybe
if you want to air quote it.
Yeah, being bigoted about it. But if you ask me, would you rather shoot an antelope or a turkey? I'd probably take the antelope. I think.
What about 3 turkeys versus 1 antelope? What would you rather take in that pair? I know it's way too early in the podcast to jump on a would you rather, but what do you think about that?
3 turkeys. I mean, because we've been getting more and more into shooting them in self-defense.
Yeah.
Where, antelope, you're with a rifle, realistically, it's like 600 to 200 yards. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of skill involved and understanding like your weapon and controlling your breathing and your trigger pull and all that goes into that. But, like this year when we were reaping behind Teddy, covering a field as flat as a pancake, there's 3 gobblers out there, and, we get to the edge of the timber, and then camera gets set up, and then out goes the guy with Teddy.
Yep.
Like, that is a lot of fun.
Goodbye, good luck, son.
Yeah. and
Have
then,
fun at school today.
yeah. And then it's like inch out, inch
Papa
out.
loves you.
And you keep peeking through the feathers, and then finally, like, one of the birds is like, has enough.
Then he breaks.
And he just, or sometimes, like, all it takes is just like a flash of Teddy, and then it's,
Yep, off to the races.
How terrible I reaped last year.
oh my God.
It was so bad.
Yep. I thought you
couldn't
were,
forget.
I seriously thought she was going to throw more shotgun. I was like, don't you
I was not
do it.
happy.
She threw her hat. Oh,
I was
like,
so mad
You
at
throw a
myself.
little BF,
Oh,
little bitch
yeah.
shit.
Did.
She like grabbed Teddy, she grabbed the gun, and she like marched. She didn't even walk to me. She was just going straight to the truck. Like
I was
straight
so
to the
upset with
fucking truck.
myself. I knew how hard that was, like the last day, last hour, and I had messed it up. I was so mad. But you know what? It happens.
I just imagine like a little girl who just got in trouble and had her Barbie doll stolen. She's like, I hate my life, and she's just like stomping back
that's
to
it.
her room.
I'm not breathing.
That's 1,000%.
I'm gonna
what
die,
I was
and
like.
it's gonna be all of your fault.
I'm not breathing.
Suck on that, mom and dad.
Serious. And then the worst part, like Logan had never truly reaped by herself, so she goes out, and I'm like making squirrel fucking noises to get her attention to like talk to her. She's like 40, 50 yards away from me. The birds are in the field, and I'm over here like, stop, caw, like fucking turkey calling to get her to look at me.
It was so bad. I kept looking back, and he's like using these hand signals, and I was like, "What does that mean?"
Keep going. Good. We're good. Great. Here we go. Fuck it. We're going live.
And like they would like go away, and I was like, "Oh, I messed up." And then they would come back, and like little did I know that I was the one scaring them away. I thought I was like low to the ground, and it wasn't true.
No, there's
I
like
was getting
18
so
inches
mad.
of air underneath Teddy. I'm like, you gotta fucking get low.
Oh, yeah,
Man,
nope,
that turkey's
I-
got some big legs.
And then they started running at me, and I was like, "Oh man, they're getting close. What
Yeah.
do I do?
What have I done?
Shoot!" And then I like swung like very hard and
Oh,
tried to
geez.
shoot, and definitely pulled the trigger real hard. And I was like, "Well, That was that.
I quit with life. Fuck.
Usually, so when you reap, Allie, and the birds are committing and come in, like you'll get adjusted behind it, and it's all about line of sight. You got to block your body with Teddy.
Okay.
So even though like you may be holding it in front of you, but if tricks, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to rotate, and so when they commit, you don't need to move anymore. They're coming to you, and you just slowly want to shoulder the gun and get around the decoy so you can just shoot. Well, Logan stayed like tucked, and then all at once she's like, wind up, big swing over the top, and these turkeys are like, wow,
Swing
that's
and a
not
miss.
normal.
So let's say like
And then she Floyd Mayweathered the hell out of the trigger, and it's like, oh.
hey, what did we say? Every mistake makes us stronger, right? I think you've mentioned that several times to me this week. I'm like, how do you know that?
It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it.
Yep.
It's literally in a song, but by Kelly Clarkson.
We don't listen to Kelly Clarkson when we work out.
Yeah.
Maybe you should.
You get those little. I can't even say it.
That's pretty obscure that you listen to that.
He
I
loves
fucking
it.
love that
That's
song.
all right. Whatever.
Okay,
To each his own.
getting back on track. We got derailed there. a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, that's all right. What's your favorite aspect about filming each other last season? So you got to experience it, Allie. Logan's been dabbling in it in the last 5 or 6 years with us. But what was your favorite thing about being able to hang out and relive that footage, Log?
The footage of Allie's hunt.
Yeah, or just hunting, filming your hunt
what was
in
your
general
Yeah.
during the season.
So the reason I say Allie's hunt, I guess, is just because like I didn't realize how like on the same page we were. Like I didn't want to like ruin her like moment because I knew that it was important to her to get that buck. Because that was your second buck.
Well, I mean, the first deer that I ever shot with a bow was like a little forkhorn, but that was my
Okay.
first like.
I couldn't
Really,
but you've shot
Night.
many deer, definitely.
yeah.
So, I don't know. It started like, I feel like this year, going into this year, I just want to capture everything. Like, I just want to try to do my best to capture, everything on film that I can and be good at filming itself. I don't know. That's my goal. That's kind of, I feel like Allie is a little bit more of like the instinctual hunter, much like, she's just more instinctual, I think, than I am, where I'm more creative and I like to capture everything. And I didn't realize she liked everything kind of getting captured. So I was like, okay, like I remember when when the deer was on the ground and you had just hugged Jim. And we were like, oh, the lighting's perfect too.
I know,
It was just like a
Carol was like,
perfect
"Oh."
moment. Like I was so intent on just like making sure that you were enjoying your moment that I kind of forgot to film. But like the fact that you brought it up, I was like, okay, yep, let's do this. All right, I want to capture everything now.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like necessarily me being more instinctual as you are. I think it's just you, like I'm not used to being like having a camera on me, so I'm more like at the time, and I'll get used to it, but like less concerned about, or not like less concerned, but I'm not used to like being able to look back and check with you to make sure that like you're lined up and the deer's in frame, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just, I have like a different mindset about it because I'm not acclimated to the whole filming scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't, I don't know.
We're getting like used to it. I feel like I'm really excited for turkey season kind of for that reason, is just kind of like, capturing more and doing more with you and filming. I don't know. I'm just really excited.
Yeah, me too.
Sure. How about you, Allie? The most enjoyable thing about having Logan over your shoulder last season?
I just think about like when I was looking back at everything that we did film, and not even just like on the camera, but on our phones, like our Snapchats and our Instagrams and stuff. I feel like just being able to like catch our reactions and our interactions when we were together, like it just makes you remember like, why we love to do it.
Yeah.
Because it makes us like, it makes me so happy, and I can tell like it makes you so happy, especially when you have it on film and you can go back and look at like your expressions, and when you're doing everything, you're like, oh my God, I just love the shit out of this. And I love the shit out of you.
I forgot how much I loved the film, like when I shot that buck, and like didn't see the shot, and like I liked seeing the film again for the reasons of like being able to see where it went and what the shot was like.
Nice.
And like I was so excited about that hunt, but I was like, man, we didn't talk about, like you said, like I didn't ask if you had it in frame and stuff. And so it was like part of the communication on my part. But I feel like this year, like, because it's so early in the season, we have plenty of time to like work at it. We're gonna be so good. We're gonna be dangerous.
We're gonna work all those little buggers out.
Yeah.
Well, and like you haven't even really got to experience a fully edited episode yet.
No.
So you just are looking back at rough clips, raw clips, which are really neat. And it'll be even cooler when it's up on YouTube and you can come pull it back up 2, 3, 4, 10 years from now and relive it.
Yeah.
That's what I've found myself doing as of more recently, is going back in our archives and watching some of our older stuff that's not fresh on the mind. Like this year, absolutely, you know, the stuff that happened this fall is vibrant. And even last year, but when you go back 5 years, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
And you can see the deer on your wall or you can see the picture on your phone, but you forget some of the stuff that happened that the camera just records. So that's kind of the cool thing for me about it, is that not forgotten memories, because they're not forgotten, but just age tarnishes stuff.
I feel like it gets your blood running back through you or something.
It does, yeah.
So it's just neat to relive it, and it will spoil you, like hunting, and you've hunted with people before, you know, close to you.
Yeah.
But not every single time, and like it'll condition you to want that, and you share it like that. To me, that feeling of success is amplified because it's not just a cameraman, the way that we do things. Like, you guys are great friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Grant and I are best friends. Like, so when it happens, when he kills or I kill, it's like you turn and it's like,
you get like double the excitement. You're like, did you just freaking do that?
right.
When Logan shot hers, I was like, what just happened?
We were.
Oh my God, did you really just do that? Am I dreaming? Pinch me? What happened?
That was insane.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't. So a little bit of backstory. Can I give some backstory on that?
Yeah, go for it.
So
We haven't said it on air yet, just so you know, about your deer.
oh,
We haven't told
okay.
the story, so if you want to explain it, if that's the backstory.
Um,
Because listeners are probably going, wait, Logan killed or shot a deer, you know? So it's okay. There's nothing to hide.
Okay. Well, so I've been working really hard this year on, actually, Allie's been helping me a lot, and Jim on, kind of like properly shooting my bow, or I feel like that's what I've learned a lot from them because they do a lot of shoots together. But I kind of learned that, and I started shooting a lot at home in the summer, and just trying to get as good as I could get before season. And then I just kind of started filming Ali hunt and enjoying that with her, and I kind of forgot about me.
You forgot that you actually were a hunter also?
I was like, oh yeah,
it's my turn.
and then I started getting excited again because I saw how excited she was, and I was like, oh gosh, okay, I'm getting excited. And then so I just I guess because I'd shot so much during the summer, I was prepared when I went hunting on one of Garrett and Grant's properties. They let me hunt on one of those, and we literally just got sat down, and I looked up and there was a deer staring at me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna shoot that deer, because it was like one of those you just have no question about, honestly. So yeah, I shot it, and
and you you had a really good shot on it, and I was my first go at filming, and I had the camera on the camera arm, and the way that the whole thing like lined up, if I should have like gotten the camera off of the arm, because I couldn't like get around the tree how I needed to get it in frame. So I didn't get it on film when she shot it, but I got it in frame when it ran away, and I mean, it looked like a really good shot. Like, you worked your butt off this summer shooting your bow. You did a really good job.
The coolest thing about that, honestly, was just like I knew Allie knew. Well, honestly, it was almost like hunting by myself, because Allie couldn't see the deer, and I just had to make all of my moves. Like, I just had to run through my mind like everything Garrett's told me about, like when I hunted with Garrett, and like I was just like walking myself through all these steps. I was like, range it. Okay. Range the opening. Okay. Stand up, turn around, draw your bow, shoot in the right spot. And I was like,
yeah, you
gosh.
have like a checklist you have to go through.
Oh man, it was a lot. But I think this year I'm hoping we'll do the dang thing if I get the opportunity.
Which you will.
Yeah, I hope so.
So long story short, Logan shot this buck and
did it perfect.
We don't know exactly.
It was a little high, we think, after I think that was what a lot of feedback was when Garrett asked quite a few people. I know he was like on the phone all day long. It was awesome.
She shot it, and I almost didn't believe her because she called me like 15 minutes before that saying, we can't find the stand. And I'm like, it's right down the hill. Like there's a piece of tether like right there, right down there.
To call, and then Allie found it.
Yeah.
I called you and I was like on the phone with you. I was like, where's this tether? And Allie's like, is it right here?
Tether over here.
So
I was like, sure, sounds good. Let's go.
So they found the stand, and then it was, like I said, 20 minutes maybe, and she calls me, and I knew right away because she was like, oh my God, I just did it. I'm like, really? You did? And yep. So they took my truck, and it was kind of muddy that day. That's why she took my truck, and I told her to come pick us up. Grant came and got us. We went out, and they came to our house. We watched the footage, and I remember it. We were like, yes.
Solid.
Like, we heard the hit, but it wasn't in frame, and then when it ran away, we're like, let's go find this deer.
Grant gave me this like massive hug, and I was like, oh, that's gotta mean it was good. I was so excited.
I did a good job. I'm gonna go get my deer.
It was just right behind the shoulder. It's not like it was a glancing bottom of the belly shot. It's not like you whacked him in the back straps. I mean, in my opinion, I didn't think it was high whatsoever. I thought if you drew a line down the center of the deer as it was running away and you measured top to bottom of a deer, let's say it's 24 inches from the bottom to the top of a deer, from its back to its belly, I think it was right at inch number 12, right behind the shoulder, like 3 inches. And I just still am dumbfounded as to how the hell that deer didn't die.
Well, it's funny because that stuff like sticks with you. I've been noticing that like with another deer. Well, like we said, with mistakes, like you guys know, like when you guys are cutting up the deer, like when we're cutting up deer at our house, it's like you look and see where you shot. And you're like, would that have shot something vital? And then in my head, I'm so like atomical. I'm like, no, that probably wouldn't kill it. And like math with you, like we were doing the math on everything and it just didn't. Yep, but that's okay.
Like the no man zone.
Yeah. Yep.
We tried everything to freaking recover that deer. And like Grant said, what I called 14 different blood trackers.
Yeah,
I sent them all the picture, and because some of them couldn't make it, most of them couldn't make it, but they still were really, most of them were amazing. Looked at the photo, asked about the arrow, the broadhead, the penetration, all the above, and almost every one of them said you should be able to recover that deer within like 500 yards. We went 600 yards that night, and then it's like, Jesus, where. And the blood was good.
Good blood.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy?
The entire time.
I thought
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, then we backed out after 600 yards, and then it freaking rained that night.
And hindsight's always 20/20. I guess we could have pushed it and just kept bumping him.
Because we bumped a deer, but we don't know if it was her deer.
Right.
It was so dark.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just was a bummer. The only thing that we can think of is that it was 13 13 inches from tip of broadhead to end of blood. And so maybe that wasn't enough to get both lungs. So maybe it was a single lung hit deer. I mean, there are stories of single lung hit deer surviving. It's the only thing I can wrap my head around.
I think the disappointing thing was you didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. Like, that's a shot that any dude with a mechanical broadhead, a fixed broadhead who's yanking 70 pounds back is going to watch the deer die from their stand, which is what pissed me off so bad, is because you didn't do anything wrong. And not one time on that blood trail did I bend over to look at, a speck of blood.
Yeah.
Like, the blood's dry. Like, it was like, yep, taking a walk in the park. There's fucking blood right there, and there's more right there. And it was like, it was very easy to. I mean, we followed it for 600 yards without one of us having to take a knee and look at the pin drops of blood. Like, that's not.
I thought it was going to be one of those times where you guys were like joking with me, and it was like really like there was a couple times where I was like, do you see it? Do you see it? Because like, man, there's so much blood.
Yeah.
I was like, man, but yeah. Anyways, that was my fun experience.
It's just like one of those things that makes you feel like you have somewhat of a handicap in the sport, being a woman.
Yeah. Yes, we've talked a lot about that
physically.
And you've kind of helped me like understand a little bit more about just archery in general with that. I feel like being a woman and using a bow and kind of like you can't have any mistakes really.
Yeah, because we have to shoot. I mean, typically if you buy a woman's bow, you're shooting between like 5 and 6 inch brace, which is short, so your bow's less forgiving. But you need that short brace to get more speed because you don't have enough draw length. 3 inches. What are you pulling? You have a 30-inch draw? 29.5. So we're 2 inches shorter than you. So our arrow doesn't have as much time on the string as theirs does. And it just, like, all those things suck. But then.
Yeah, Allie knows her shit if you haven't noticed.
But then you do have, like, that deer, that buck that I shot, I got full pass through with it. And it's like, so what?
Yeah.
But you hit it in the hollow spot.
That was such a perfect
Yeah, I mean,
situation.
everything has to be like so freaking perfect for us to have success. Like,
that's the shit of it is with us. It's like, all right, the deer's quartered 2. Put that sucker on his
blow it
point
through
of his
its
shoulder and
Yeah.
bust it.
Yeah.
And you guys don't have that luxury.
No.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That is
And
true.
just the luxury of always having a double pass through. Like realistically, most of the time, if we hit the deer in the cavity, I'm not talking about front in the shoulder or back in the ham. Most of the time, we're getting a double pass through, 2 holes, nasty blood channel, and not with many times, like that deer you shot with your bow would have been 3 years ago with Taru. It's like that deer. I mean, that was a good shot, and I feel like if you would have had a pass through, we would have found more blood when we went to track him. We would have found him that night rather than the following morning. So it's just a bevy of things that suck.
so we just have to work harder.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steroids.
That's my
Yep.
thing I
Start
need to
pumping
do.
some tea.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
Okay. We kind of touched on this. You touched on it really briefly, but Garrett, we'll start with you. Goals for your 2021 hunting season. We've kind of already touched on this briefly in another podcast, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like old school. I write them down on a whiteboard for me, and a couple of goals this year to kill TJ and Hope. Any combination, any weapon, I don't care. And then a new one that I literally just wrote up there is make this a year of another first. And I have a couple in mind, but I think about this past season and what firsts happened, because that's kind of cool when you can say this is the first time X. This is the first time I went elk hunting. I killed my first bull. On top of that, this is the first year that I can remember that you bucked out with a bow.
Yeah.
This is the first year Logan her first time killing a deer with a muzzleloader.
Yeah, that's true. That was a fun.
Yeah,
That
and
was your first muzzleloader kill?
yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
and like Alan Yates' first firearm kill.
Mm-hmm.
So first saddle hunt, and I try to think of it like that, and like, man, this year was a great year for firsts.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry Griswold, he told me, he's like, you'll never forget your first deer is like your first piece of ash. You'll never forget it. So kind of in that mentality, a lot of your firsts are some of your most vibrant memories because it was the first time. So this year in 2021, I just want to make sure and do that again. Like hopefully Allie kills her first turkey.
I hope so too.
Me too.
I'm hoping that
You and I kill our first 200-inch deer.
No, but I want you I want you to kill your first booner, and I think we have the
Yeah.
potential. Like
Maybe.
we have the
Be
potential,
right there.
not just on the airport, but on the other farms that we have. And like I want
Sure.
Logan to have her first mounted deer with her bow. Like, and it, there's a lot of what ifs that can happen there.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just look back at this year, I didn't think that if I would have thought about the first for 2020, muzzleloader, Alan Yates, saddle, those wouldn't have been in there, but yet they were.
Sure.
Very cool.
Log, how about you?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Goals
I'm
for
a
this season.
good
Yep,
listener.
your
I was
goals
really
for,
in Garrett's.
Goals for the 21 hunting season.
So, goals would be, honestly, I feel like Ali needs the spotlight she deserves. She is a fantastic hunter, and she's a fantastic archer, and I know she's sitting here shaking her head, but like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but she just, I don't think I'm wrong. I think that she is like, man, she's this like shining star that just needs to be noticed.
No.
And we are going to do it via TikToks.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all the whatever.
We're getting a TikTok, folks.
All the fun things or something. Gosh, we're going to have a good time. I know this year is just going to be fun. And we hope to capture everything on film in a good way that just represents us and our true friendship, honestly.
Yeah. And like, not sugarcoating how it really is for us.
Nope. Nope. We're going to show it all.
It's going to be sour as shit.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
'Tis an adventure.
All right, Allie, what's yours?
Okay, well, I want to kill my first turkey. Okay. I was like dead set. I want to go out with my bow and do it because I love archery hunting so much. I just love my bow, and we are one. And I just love shooting it so much. But then Garrett was like, well, kind of talked me off of the ledge. You guys think that it's more fun to go out with the shotgun.
I do.
Because you can't really like reap them with a bow, can you?
High level of prestige.
Yeah.
She
So,
will really
okay.
live up to her name, Warrior Princess, if she shoots one with a bow behind Teddy.
well, that's like how my brain, I'm like, I want to do it with my bow. And then I'm like, you haven't even killed a turkey ever. Start small.
Set the bar high.
Baby steps, yeah. So baby steps, I would love to shoot one. Even when it's a gun, I would be very happy with that. But this is like reaching. What if I shot one with a gun during the second season and then went out for the third season with my bow? And if I killed one with it, great. If not, whatever. I already got one down. That'd be pretty cool. And then I would love to film Logan, like good film, shoot a buck with her bow this year.
That'd be
and
cool.
it's going to happen because we're going to make it happen because we're going to put the work in.
Yeah.
We're going to get a food plot. We're gonna do a lot of work on our stands, and we're gonna tend our properties a little bit more. Do better. I want to do better with, like our trail camera pictures and actually like being able to, like pattern the deer and whatnot.
Process,
Yeah.
Analyze them, break them down.
Yep. That's my goals. Big goals.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm here with it. I'm here for it.
That's a good one. Back off the hunting train, we're gonna hop on the opposite train, and that is. What is one aspect, and we'll start with you, Allie, this time and work this way. What's one aspect of your life you take a lot of pride in? One thing about you that you take a lot of pride in.
Okay. I don't really know. I don't like to I feel like this is like a toot your own horn thing, which is hard.
It's not.
But I would have to say probably the only thing that's really coming to my head is like fitness. Like my motivation that I've had, because I haven't always had it. I went through like a weight loss phase, and then I've just been like on the train ever since. So just my like motivation and like inspiration just to wake up every day and go to the gym, and because that just makes me feel so much better throughout the whole day. Let it the day. That's how I like to start my day off, and then it just makes me have like a better week, and then that turns into months, and now it's been years, and just being able to do different things and see your body kind of like change and form how you want it to is just, that's kind of the only thing that comes to my mind because I'm pretty passionate about it.
I would say you're very dedicated, dirtbag dedication level on that. Waking up at 3 a.m. every morning to go and lift is something that
and not
a very
hating
small
it.
percentage of people do.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
You gotta love it to do it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you, Log? One aspect, one thing that you take a lot of pride in about yourself.
I would say, like health and fitness. Just like being aware, like same as Hallie.
We're the same person.
We are. Gosh, I feel so cliche like answering this. This is such like a serious like tone for me. But
you would have answered it first, and I would have been like, same.
I know. That's what I'm like. It's like, well, I feel like I'm doing the same. I feel like I'm repeating her. No, I mean, again, like, I feel like Allie kind of brought that back for me for fitness too. Like, I forgot, like, it was like, oh yeah, this is what I went to school for. Oh yeah, like, I have the ability to like manipulate my body. I have the ability to like achieve things that I didn't think I could achieve. And especially like, with more responsibilities at my work, it's like, man, it's way more important to me now. 'Cause it's just like, the core of it starts my day off right. I mean, it's just the way that I feel, I guess. It just I set the tone for my day, and then I just get the things that I want to get done in the morning, and then I head to work and do a good job at work, and I come home and I get to come home to my husband that loves me, and I mean, man,
such
tis
a good life.
Good life.
Yeah.
Man, I'm thankful for my life.
And
okay, that's
you
my
came
answer.
home to adult grilled cheese and tomato bisque soup the other night, and I was like, Jim, get your shit together.
Oh my gosh, he's a little chef.
Yes.
He is definitely like.
He sent me a Snapchat, and I was like, oh, look at we have little Chef Boyar bitch.
Oh my gosh, I was like, I came home and I was like, oh, thank you.
I love you, this melty cheese.
This adult grilled cheese.
I have to know what makes it adult.
I don't
You
know.
put meats and
Because
different
it-
cheeses
all kinds
in
of
it.
stuff
Okay.
in
Because
there.
it's not like, a Kraft American single on white bread. With
All right, fair enough.
It is like caramelized onions, and I did some smoked turkey and
No big
3
deal.
different cheeses.
Just 3.
So it's like a badass loaded panini.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Grilled
literally.
up.
That's
Mhm.
perfect.
Not
Okay,
the healthiest
I
thing,
got
as
ya.
I just said. Health was my favorite, my thing I was most proud of. But
We
it
had
was
broccoli
delicious.
with it. We had
Broccoli.
steamed broccoli,
yeah.
tomato bisque soup, and then the adult grilled cheese.
That is
That
healthy
sounds
for
great.
your
Oh
soul.
my
You
gosh,
need
it
some
was
soul
healthy
health.
for my soul. It
Yeah.
was so great.
Garrett, how about you? One aspect of your life that you take pride in.
In the words of my father, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So I feel like I don't half-ass much, and
Anything ever.
No.
so like I mean that's the one thing I take pride in. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do as good as I can most times.
Nice. I like that. I would totally agree with that. Who is somebody you look up to, Mangelsdorf?
Like somebody that we know, or just
Anyone, literally
anybody?
anyone. Who's somebody that you look up to, and why is that?
Oh man, what a hard one.
There's
So many people are running through my little brain.
Just name the first one that comes to mind.
My mom, honestly, she's always been a role model for her work ethic, and I mean, just the way that she's raised us and the values that she's instilled in us. And I mean, even to this day, the relationships that she makes sure that our family has is a big deal. So I think that adds a lot of value to your life.
Sure. So more or less just a very selfless person, ability to put others in front of herself.
Oh my God, she puts literally everybody above her, even her dog. I'm like, Mom, you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people. And she's like, no. She's so sweet though.
I really like your mom.
She's
That's
not
awesome.
she's not as intimidating as you think.
But yeah, you can tell how she's like a mama bear.
Oh yeah, she's like, you F with my kids and I'm gonna freaking murder you.
Yeah, I can get that vibe for sure. Like, you had her on the phone the other day. I was like, hi.
Oh well, I stopped at my mom's house before I came here, and she's not home. She's in Des Moines, but she has one of those little ring things. And she apparently like got the ring notification, but didn't see me walking to the door, and my dad was home, and my dad's phone starts going off, and he answers, and she's like, who is at the house? And he's like, it's my girlfriend. You weren't supposed to know. And she's like, who is it?
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. That was my fault. She had to go to her mom's house, I think.
No.
My bad, Ann. Gosh, okay. How
about you,
I gotta
Logan?
answer this, and I
Yeah.
already know, but this is like, I hope I don't get too emotional. My grandpa, although he is not here anymore, rest in peace, was like, I can't hardly say much about him because I do get a little bit too emotional, but Garrett and I just went on a trip to friends in Colorado, and we went into this house, there, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like seeing all of these things that like looked exactly like my grandpa's things, and it just like I felt like I couldn't even talk, like my heart was racing so hard, like I felt like I was in my grandpa's house. And the guy's name was Ron, which is my grandpa's name, and I was just like, whew, okay. It's like those are some feelings that dug up, but like he was just a good man, and I am blessed to have so many good men in my life. My dad, Garrett, but like I just always think about him. I bet I think about him every single day. He's someone I look up to. But yeah, no longer here anymore, but he was an amazing, amazing man. And there's not many people around here who didn't know my grandpa. I still ran into people who know him, and I'm going to be sad the day that his name is, we will make him live on. But yeah, he was a wonderful man.
Sure. Garrett, how about you?
I'm going to throw somebody out there that none of you know. His name is Keith Miller, and he's a guy that he's a customer of mine. And like, so Keith is the owner of a company called Starved Rock Wood Products, and he's just like a no bullshit, no nonsense guy. He doesn't have any formal education, and he started this company like 20 some years ago. He decided he's going to take the dive, a little like staircase and cabinet company, and now he employs like 140 people. He does
That's awesome.
Millions and millions of dollars worth of business, and he's like, I guess every time I go there, and I go there quite often, we got some big programs with him.
Weekly.
Like,
right?
yeah, like I learned something from him. So I was just there a couple days ago, and we talked pretty frankly, right? The business facade is out. Like we go to Little Ziggy's, and he gets the same damn 2 eggs over easy every time, and like cusses and talks up a storm and smokes like a chimney. But he's like, he was all worked up, and he's like, I just hired this new operations manager, and he's like, he's the guy that he's a problem solver, but he's like, that's not your job. Like you got to delegate. When you have 50 people working underneath you, you can't go fix a sander. You can't go do this and do that. He's like, you got to tell somebody to do it. That's your job. He's like, your job isn't to fix it. It's to be, you do this, you do that, and then oversee everything. And he's like, I never once tell one of my employees that if you need anything to call me, because that's not how it works. He goes, you have to go through the chain of command. He's like, that's why you have structure in business. He's like, that's why I am the owner. He's like, if a customer of ours is calling me, their house better be on fire. You know, because he's like, it should have gone to the project manager and then the sales manager and all these chains to get up to me. And I was like, wow. I guess because I had to like take a step back because I feel like I am the guy he's frustrated with, right? No, just take it to me. I'll come and do it. You know, I'll take care of it. Where sometimes that isn't your job. Like at a certain point in time, like that you're above that. And that sounds bad to say, but it's true. Because if you do everything, then why do you have people underneath you to do that? And that's what he was getting at. And I was like, holy shit. So, long-winded answer.
So Keith Miller.
Yeah, a mentor of mine just because he's a hard-nosed, old-school businessman that's forged his company from the ground up.
American dream, made his own way.
American
No
dream.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I wish the guy loved to hunt because we'd go on like these crazy hunting trips, but he loves fishing. Like we'll say that. Like he's got his electronics in his boat are like half of what our home costs. It's insane. But anyway, done with that.
Okay, so we got mom, grandpa, business
2 eggs
mentor.
over easy.
So
I was going to almost say Jocko because it goes into like what Garrett just said because he's
very much no bullshit
he
too.
He is a noble man. There's lots of leadership stuff that kind of goes right into what Garrett said.
I will say this, though. So before we go to the next question, we went to Colorado. We hunted with our good friends Shane and Brooke Jones. And they got us permission on this very large ranch. And Shane said, we need to go talk to the guy before we do it. And he's one of those guys. He's got to be he's very well off. He lives in this small little house that he probably grew up in. And when we walk in, like Logan said, it's pure old school rodeo nostalgia. Picture John Wayne, like all this old stuff. He's got his dogs in there. The guy is wearing like the cowboy jeans. And I say cowboy jeans because, they're pretty tight fitting. It doesn't look like he's got an ass on him. He's got a great big old belt buckle with a pearl snap tucked in, cowboy hat, big chaw, and he's standing over there by the waste can, spitting into the waste can. He just had this gravelly voice,
old school,
weathered face, crow's feet, and he looked it.
Just a man who had lived.
And so, and I didn't really put two and two together until, because Brooke and Shane knew him. We introduced, and I look over to Logan, and she's flushed. And I can tell she's worked up, and I'm like, oh, and she even said it. She's like, sir, do you know Ron Partlow? And her voice was quivering. I was like, oh, keep it together. You can do it, babe. I was for sure there was gonna be waterworks, and it was gonna be awkward turtle.
I couldn't even listen to him anymore. I was like, man, I don't want to make this weird, but this is.
I thought it was gonna get weird.
Yeah. I was like,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. It was just way my grandpa was a smoker, so minus the smoke smell, his house he said his house was built, wasn't it 100 years old or something?
Yeah,
like
104 years. It's something
just
cool.
A little house. Yeah, it was
He was
a cool
shot by his
experience.
his wife's dad.
What?
Oh yeah, shot off a horse.
Just crazy
crazy
stories.
Holy
just
shit.
way back when, just a good old boy.
Anyway, moving on.
All right, we can start with you this time, Garrett. The question is, who is your favorite outdoor industry personality? That could be a podcast host, that could be a photographer, that could be a show host, anybody that is engaged in the industry, literally quite whatsoever. Who would that be for you?
That's actually pretty tough, but it comes down to, I think I've narrowed it down to a guy by the name of Michael. Or not Michael Hunsucker. He's a close second. I'll tell you why he's not. Matt. Jesus, I can't even think of his name. Zinger.
Jason Matzinger?
Yes. Man, I just botched that. He's my hunting mentor, and I didn't even say his name right. But yeah, Jason Matzinger. And the reason why is because he's a freaking killer, and he kills with both guns and bows, and he does it almost all out west, which you can't cheat the mountains. I don't care if it's private, public, in between, or whatnot. But he has an incredible show that I enjoy watching, and he kills big shit, and he's he just does it. And now I think the Heartland Bowhunter guys, I really like them a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to gun hunt. I'm not,
Right.
So yep. I couldn't give them the podium because Jason's not afraid to break out a rifle.
Nope.
And fill his tag. So that's my answer.
That's a good answer. Log, how about you?
Who do I like in the hunting?
Who's your favorite hunting celebrity?
Mm-hmm. Podcast host, show host, etc.
I just watched that Becca Garris, I think her name is. She is a hardcore hunter. She packs her baby up who's 2 years old and takes her hunting everywhere. I don't know. I'm just really right now I'm really impressed with her. I just feel that's a man. She's hardcore hunter.
What's her name one more time?
I think her name's Becca Garris.
I think you had me follow her the other day.
I think
Garris.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a off the grid kind of just she does the whole dang thing. She does traditional archery hunting and I'm impressed with her. I don't know if I want to be exactly like her, but I'm impressed by her. I think she's got a cool vibe to her. Otherwise, there is a lot of men in the hunting industry. I'm trying to think. I like John Dudley because I do like how much he gives back, I guess, if that makes sense. I feel like he gives back to the hunting community a lot via knowledge. If those are willing to take his knowledge, I think he does a nice job with that.
School of Knock.
The School of Knock, yeah. I'm going to be watching a lot of the School of Knock once summer approaches and I'm wielding my bow again. But yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Allie, how about you?
I have always loved to follow Levi and Sam Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
I just love their personalities that they have. I think they're two very humble people for how far that they've come. They have a lot of archery knowledge, which obviously that
makes you Randy.
That blows my dress up a little bit. I think they just have really good values and morals, but I have been on a huge John Dudley kick though lately, because I just love to listen to him talk about how to shoot a bow and the mechanics of shooting a bow and everything that he just the whole like all the knowledge that he has that he just like will share on a free podcast is priceless. So I love to listen to all three of them.
Yeah,
sure. Speaking of your favorite podcast to listen to, Logue, you can start this one off this time. What's your favorite podcast to currently listen to? It doesn't have to be in the outdoors, just something that you really enjoy listening to.
Allie's got me on this Mind Pump.
Freaking love Mind Pump.
So good. Mind Pump. I listen to that in the morning.
Who's the host of Mind Pump, Magelsdorf?
Sal DiStefano. There's three
I don't
guys.
know. There's 3 guys. It sounds like we don't know what we're talking about, but I guess it's because like we just really like. I feel like we've honed into what we like, and we've really figured out like just. We like health, we like hunting, and we've like honed in. That's why these answers are all over the place.
Yeah,
but like
really ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
and food.
So like I listen to podcasts at different times of the day. Like I listen to Mind Pump like if I'm feeling like I need some like help with my fitness. I like revisit Joe Rogan's podcast pretty often. Like if I want some motivation for like I listen to Jocko's like a lot. His are a lot about war stories. I don't know. I guess I like a plethora of podcasts. And obviously this one, the Huntcast, I've been listening to this a lot more, and I've really enjoyed you guys just doing your thing and talking to so many different people. Like, I got to catch up.
Yeah. That's one thing about bouncing around with podcasts is you only drive so much. I only listen to them when I'm driving, you know? So a lot of catching up to do.
Sure. Garrett?
Well, I'm pretty boring. I don't listen to hardly any podcasts. I don't. I'm like the weird guy. I am either going to listen to radio or nothing. Like I don't know if I'm like a sleeper serial killer, because I think you might be. I drive so much for work, and the radio is repetitive, and I understand.
You call people. You call a lot of people.
I do. I'm on the phone a lot. Like today on my work phone, I don't know. I worked honestly. I mean, my boss isn't listening till like 2:30, and I started at like 7:00, and I had 5 hours and 31 minutes of screen time.
That's insane.
On my work phone, because your iPhone tells you that like it's a freaking victory. It's like, no, this sucks.
Yeah, you've broken a new record.
but I listen to 2 podcasts. This one and the Whitetail Legacy, unless somebody like sends me a link to one and says you got to listen to it, and they got me for like the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And if they don't hook me, I'm done. But when I'm cruising down the road, which is the most realistic time to listen to them, it's either radio or just road noise.
Sometimes it's nice to though be like in the quiet when you're surrounded by so much noise all the time. Sometimes I'm like sitting alone in my house and there's like no TV, no nothing, and I'm like, if anybody walks into my house right now, they're going to think that I'm like on the verge of committing like a mass murder. You know what I mean? Because like it's.
What are you doing,
How
Allie?
weird, yeah.
Just cooking up some C4.
Yeah.
That's what one time, like, because I just like, that is one thing about living rurally is like, oh, you feel like you have this relief as soon as you drive out of the city.
Yeah.
And like you get in your house and you're like, oh.
Like the big man is taking his foot off your chest. You're like,
this is insane. And even better with like being out hunting. Like you're just like, oh man, this is fantastic.
I like it a lot.
What's yours? You listen to quite a
few. Podcasts? I like the Gritty podcast.
Yeah.
My favorite podcast would be the Gritty podcast, the Whitetail Legacy guys, and I really like listening to Trail Cam Radio with our buddy Jake. Those are the mix that I have time for, but I really just only listen to them either when I'm driving to work, which most days on the way home from work, I don't listen to anything, and up here when I'm reading books and stuff like that, where I can kind of have it on in the background and pick up some ancillary knowledge that's kind of in my peripheral while I'm concentrating on something else. So those would be the 3. Okay, your all-time favorite movie, Garrett?
The Gladiator.
Oh God, you didn't have to think about that one.
Oh no,
that's a great
super
movie.
like close second, riding right on Maximus's ass is Van Wilder.
Oh my God,
that's
so
such
cool.
a
Fucking
shitty
opposites.
second.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
That's an odd second.
They're
to back.
leaders. They're good leaders.
My top 3 is Gladiator, Van Wilder, Wedding Crashers in that order.
I think
That's
you're really,
obscure.
You're driving in that serial killer like nail
What?
right
That's
now.
Oh, okay, Logan.
I've been movie, right?
Yeah, favorite movie of all time.
I've been really liking some classics lately.
No, your favorite movie, not what's current.
Yeah, your favorite number 1 movie.
Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken.
What the fuck is
I've never even
that?
seen it.
What is that?
Sorry.
What is that?
It's on VHS. I don't know.
It is. It's really, really, really old. I feel like I don't know. I think that one's no.
Is it a Western? Is it a?
It's an old movie.
Is
It is
it
it's sort of like a Western. Yeah. I don't.
I'm not watching it.
I like comedies. Like I like the good feel good comedies. Honestly, like Dumb and Dumber and
Oh
like
my God.
Tommy Boy. I can't help it.
Tommy like we.
I know. I'm just that's what I like.
Yeah.
They're just like classics. They make me smile.
They get me like rolling from the deep gut.
Oh my
And I love that
gosh,
for
yes.
me. Yeah.
There's nothing better like to just watch a stupid movie and just be
Oh.
like, I'm gonna relax.
Anything Jim Carrey, I'm like my brain's going full freaking like full
Mush.
turning it off. Yep.
like Ace Ventura or something like
Yes, the
yeah.
mask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I went through my DVDs and I was like, oh, I just want to watch like a movie that I've seen 1,000 times, but I could always watch it again, is always going to be The Wolf of Wall Street. I freaking love that movie
Yeah.
with Leonardo DiCaprio. I watched
Never
it the other
seen it.
night.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm probably going to go home tonight and put it in and fall asleep on my couch with my dog because Jim's not home. And that's like, if I had popcorn and a glass of wine, I'd be happy. But I'm not going to do those 2 things because we're doing leg day tomorrow and I don't want to die. But Wolf of Wall Street, my couch with a blanket, my dog. Count me in.
I want
That's
your
a good
answer. Number 1 movie.
Anything with Robin Williams in it always hits a good heartstring with me
yeah.
because I thought he was a person that I hate to see his life end the way that it ended, and every movie that he's been in just makes me feel a lot better. My favorite movie of all time, though, would either have to be The Dead Poets Society, which is about a teacher who kind of takes this group of kids under this kind of tyrannical leadership system that are in school, and he kind of sheds light to their lives and kind of instills this carpe diem-esque mentality, seize the day. So that would be one. And then the second one, also with him, would be Good Will Hunting, where he also again plays a teacher and mentors this troubled youth and gets him out of a really dark spot. And the third one would be Patch Adams.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. I will
that's
cry every
such
time.
A good one. Good Will
Another
Hunting's
good one
too.
where he's just, he's kind of the outcast of his medical school program there, and he knows what's important and he fights for it. And those are Robin Williams, anything with him in it, all the way down to the animated version of Aladdin. Not in my top 50, but I enjoy it.
Good one.
Yeah, so those are my favorite movies.
I feel like a degenerate with my answer now. I like to watch movies about.
Oh
a
no,
guy
I
who's
love
addicted
Wolf
to
of Wall
pills.
Street too. When Margot Robbie goes full nude about the
yeah.
50-minute mark, that's great. That's the
Yes.
that's the second hottest chick on planet Earth.
Margot
so.
Robbie is a babe, that's for sure.
I need to watch it.
Second
Yeah, I have it on DVD. It only has a few weird scratches on it, just a couple.
She's so hot. Oh my god. Your favorite all-time food, Allie? We'll start with you on that one.
Oh my! You're gonna ask? I love
Number
all
one.
the food.
Nope, you got to pick one. Prepare yourselves mentally.
Oh
Bulkuses.
man. Oh no. My all-time favorite food. I love me a soft pretzel. I really do. It's so
I was
random.
expecting
What?
popcorn for sure.
I love.
Okay. Well, note
Well,
to self.
I feel like I love popcorn because it's.
Do you have a whirly pop?
No.
Do you have an air popper?
No.
You eat fucking microwave popcorn?
No, I pop that shit fresh in
Oh,
the pan.
She doesn't do anything not half-ass. She does everything homemade.
I know I told my friend that I would make my goddaughter smash cake, and she's like, she's not gonna eat it, Allie. You can make it out of a box. And I was like, don't you fucking talk to me like that.
I'm offended.
You literally just hurt my heart. I wasn't gonna make like a Swiss meringue buttercream. What do you mean?
She like crushes it in front of you, and you're like,
She deserves it. She's not getting shit out of a box.
enjoy those carbs, baby. Gosh.
Soft pretzel. Okay. Log, favorite food all time.
Oh, cheeseburger. But like not just a cheeseburger, like a cheeseburger with an egg. That's option 1. Cheeseburger with an egg and peanut butter. Option 2.
Never had either of those.
Cheeseburger with a cheese and ketchup. Option 3. I like all the cheeseburgers. I don't know. They're my favorite. Cheeseburger, like I go home and like have one and I'm like, I am so happy. You know what? Every time we make cheeseburgers at home, I say that. Garrett can quote me on that. I'm like, I love this cheeseburger.
Oh, I say that every time I eat pot roast. I'm like, ugh.
You're
Yeah. Oh, God.
Just peed a little bit.
Is it a little warm in here, or is it just me?
Just saying it gets her excited.
Love this hot, soft meat in my mouth. The softer, the better.
God.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Telling you, man, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
OnlyFans.
Oh God.
Garrett, how about you? Your favorite food?
You know, it's gonna sound like monochrome, but I love a New York strip, medium rare, you know, cooked the right way. I want mine over a charcoal grill. I don't do like I do it, but my favorite isn't like the pan seared with the garlic butter and all that stuff. I just charcoal. You know,
America.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
And no steak sauce, none of that
Oh,
stuff.
you don't need steak sauce on a good
cringe
steak.
when people put ketchup on steak.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm glad we got away from doing that.
Weed?
I used to do
Weed?
Okay,
You got a turd in your
sorry.
pocket?
No. I did. I got
Ketchup?
away from doing that. I
I
used to do
made
that all
her-
the time when I
Did
was.
not let her do it.
Yeah.
Did you eat it well done too?
I'm not sure if I'm a very good hey, you know me. I don't always know good cooking. I'm like, my parents were cooked all the time at home, and they made fantastic food. But man, now that I've had some of Allie's food, I'm like, this is very, very good. Also, very, very good. She spends a lot of time doing this. Okay, she really loves this, and I can tell. I'm like so spoiled now. Like I feel like I can't tell. I'm like, man, this is like I can never go back to eating out again. Eating out is not even as good.
Yeah, well, we've been meal prepping our lunches for over a year now, and I get so freaking excited every time I eat lunch. Every day.
Gosh. I just feel bad looking back half the year. I'm like, oh man, I am ashamed of some of the things that I've made and given Allie.
Your food has been so
Meatloaf.
good.
I know.
Oh, I gave her
I'm
so
like,
much
oh
shit
my
the other night.
gosh.
I'm like, she's
she
like,
knows what she's doing.
she's like, I gotta make meal prep for Logan or Allie, and I'm like, what are you
help.
doing? She's like, meatloaf. I'm like, fucking meatloaf?
Meatloaf,
Like, you know what
beatloaf.
she's gonna make you. You can't just come up with a freaking meat chunk, okay? Like,
What'd you make me this week? A big ass hamburger loaf.
I put your big old dick in there.
I'm so sorry. Garrett made the gravy for that one this last
was
week,
very
and I was
good.
like trying to pay attention to what he was using. I was like, I gotta count the calories. I gotta do this. I gotta make it
Calm
right.
okay, next question.
This is a good one. So it's a slap in the face kind of to call hunting a hobby, because I feel like anybody that does it at an extremely high level, it's certainly more than just going into a bowling league every Tuesday. It's a super hobby. It's a lifestyle, more or less. But if I took that away from the three of you, and again, this is a hypothetical world, what is one new hobby, one new thing you'd have your eye on to kind of immerse yourself in and with and do to pick up something new? If I took some things off of your plate, Garrett, what do you think? Or something that trips your trigger, that's something that you don't know how to do at present time, but you'd be interested in learning.
So the thing with hunting is that it covers a lot of different genres, right? Hunting is the root of many passions that stem from it. So like archery
Oh, yeah.
or shooting, reloading,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's so many things that kind of stem off from it.
Yep.
So honestly, something that I think would be fun, it'd be seasonal, is that I know how to ski, but I'm not like super great at it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had the ability to do it, I think being very good downhill skier would be awesome. And the other one, I don't know why, I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. That's like a ton
to
of...
be a pianist?
Yes. But it's like a huge time investment, and you can't just like a guitar, it sits in the corner.
Yeah.
Like a piano is a piece of fucking furniture. Like I can't just get one and just test it if I like it.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like
I just
you
need
also
the
look very
Matrix
smart when
where
you're
it just
playing it.
plug you in and download it.
And then you're good. Logue, how about you?
You know, I would say, I almost want to say something out like hiking and camping. Because I feel like I've always wanted to go on a hunt that's like that, but like hiking and camping because I feel like I work so much inside and I'm so much inside of my house. I like need to get outside more. And like when we went to Colorado, I was like, man, it is just like quiet and desolate and back to basics. Like in some parts, their small town is really nice where you get that small town vibe and it's just people are nice and that kind of thing. But sorry, this is a long-winded answer, but yeah, I would say like hiking and camping.
Sure. Walking and sleeping.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to learn the skills, to learn the skills of like cutting.
It'd be like learning survival skills.
That would be cool to me.
Yeah,
I feel like.
What do you think?
What I do?
Yeah, what would you do?
Oh yeah, okay. I would go back and get my black belt in Kung Fu.
Oh yeah.
Because I have my purple, but I stopped going because it's freaking time consuming.
That's cool.
Kung Fu takes a very long time to progress, especially once you get once you have like it took me probably 2 years to get my purple belt, and then once you get past that, it takes even longer. You have to go through certain degrees of like your brown and black. I would love to go back and get my black belt. That would be freaking amazing because I love doing it, but it's so time consuming. And then once I did that, I would like to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think that would be
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be super cool. It's always like intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Last one I have here before we get into the would you rathers. If you had to be, if you were stranded on an island, what would the 3 people be? Who would they be that you would be wanting to take with you from now until the end of time, till the end of your days? You got to pick 3 people. They could be dead too. It doesn't have to be just present. Familial, it could just be 3 people.
Deep. These are all deep questions.
It's a get to know Ali and Logan podcast, and also Garrett.
I would take Jim for sure because I feel like he always knows a little bit about everything. Like he would be one person who could probably survive in the woods and just like know naturally what to do. And I would be like, hold my hand. I don't know.
Show me the way.
Yeah, seriously.
Lies.
So you got Jim.
You would just be wicked horny.
We would make our own little community. And then they would all be inbred from there because there's just 2 of us.
I just think of that stupid movie.
Wait, there's grandkids that stem from this? How? Oh, fuck.
You know the movie. We watch it. So it's some stupid movie, and she's like, prepare to enter the holy of all holies.
Oh, it's
and Jack Black's like, prepare to sit on the poly of all polies. Like I envision that on the island.
Year 1.
Yes.
Year 1,
yes. Yeah. You may sleep with my daughter.
Oh my God.
You may share the bed with my son Steve.
Thank you, Papa. Okay, way off subject. Who are the other
Number
2 people?
2.
I would bring Logan.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I feel like she would keep me sane because I would want to kill Jim if I had to spend that much time with him. And then she just like brings me back down to being like, I'm kind of like sometimes can be like a little up here, like too manic. And then she's like brings me down to a normal level.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I probably because I'm boring as hell. Look at how I'm talking. I'm like so monotone. And I'm like the whole time I'm like, this is why I hate hearing myself on this Oh, that's
and then
nice.
I would bring my mom because if I like cut my arm, she could put me back together, and then I wouldn't die from infection because she's good at that. She's a nurse.
Yes.
So mom jig and Logan.
Yes.
Okay. Logan?
Sorry, I feel like the reason these questions are so deep is because this pandemic just like really brings you back to the basics. Anyways, who would I take to an island with me? I'm sorry, this is gonna take me forever to answer because I'm gonna want to answer it authentically. Garrett, definitely, because he's my rock. He's kind of like my protector too. I mean, I think that's how your husband should be. Should make you a better person and be there to kind of
And I'm your
protect
asshole.
you. And you're my asshole.
One big giant asshole.
You're a big giant asshole.
You stinky.
Yeah.
So Garrett, man, my grandpa, I guess, because
Sure.
I've already said him. I don't know. This is so weird. It's like definitely going back to the basics of like who I would bring with me. These are some hard questions, Grant. Man,
You're really tapping into our little hearts here.
yeah, this is tough. Okay, last person. Allie right now. I mean,
I literally
gosh.
was like, okay.
Like, I mean, you're just like you make me a better person. You're happy, you're fun, you challenge me, you make me my best me. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what I'd pick.
All right, fair enough. Garrett?
I'm getting off this fucking island. Tony Stark. Okay, you said anyone.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce fucking Banner.
Yeah,
Yep.
we gotta open this up.
I feel like the
funny
Hulk
stuff.
would be rather useless, though, on a deserted island, depending on how far
He's
away
like
it was.
brilliant though.
Oh, okay. I guess I was considering only the Hulk form.
Oh,
Who would be quite irrational to be trapped on an island.
You gotta take Thor and jump on that hammer. Only to get out, he could fly you away on the hammer. You could sit on the front of the hammer, and then he's like zing up to the wherever he goes.
Nope.
Okay, so
Third pick's to Hail Mary Clark Kent.
Okay.
Gay.
I'm off.
Fucking Clark Kent.
See you in 48 hours, bud.
Okay, we're on to some would you rathers here. Garrett, we'll start with you first. So, would you rather shoot 1 buck with your bow next year or 2 bucks with a gun?
$2.
Logan?
1 buck with a bow or $2 with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Bow. Yeah, 100% bow.
Aletha?
It would be a bow for this hoe.
Okay. Would you rather eat a deer heart or an inner loin?
What? That's fucking dumb. I would.
Oh, that's not.
I would eat it. I would. Okay. You know what? I have
That's a
never.
great question.
I know why you asked this.
I've never eaten. I've never eaten a deer heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if I knew how to cook it, then and if I liked it, then that would just be another form of the deer that I could consume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would eat a deer heart.
Okay.
I know exactly why you answer that because I feel like, and I know why you asked that. Alan just cooked a deer heart of his own. I feel like that is a huge reason. That is it, and it looked good. It looked good in his picture.
It's
Alan,
not
nice
what you
job.
would think, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. It like I was surprised. I've heard of that before, but now I'm like interested in using more of a deer than I have in the past, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's like now I use the bone for bone broth, and now we use all the rib meat. Like
That,
we're
like-
using more and more. It's cool.
Yeah, that like puts the thought into my mind like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You don't just have to eat the freaking ass.
Are you gonna eat the hoof? Or
You can, yeah, well, I
No.
mean,
you know,
you
does
can
that
do what
sound
you want.
delicious?
Nope.
Pickle it.
Okay.
I'm doing the heart too. I'm gonna say it. The inner loins are overrated in a deer. They're pretty small and they dry out quick. I mean, yes, they're good and a lot of people covet them. We keep them. I'm not like we trash them or whatever, but they're just overrated.
I make them real quick for breakfast same day.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I mean. Like, and you really don't get a lot off of them. I don't know. Hopefully people out there agree with me. But like, to me, the best cut is the backstrap or the backstrap tip that's tucked right in behind the ham. That
Yeah.
little piece of perfection right there.
Little nuggy.
Okay. Alley, fly or drive?
Fly.
Logan?
Fly.
or drive? Also
Fly
fly.
like a bird
Garrett?
in the
Drive.
sky.
Rather drive. Okay. Back to you, Garrett. Skydive or run with the bulls?
Oh God.
Skydive.
Okay. Logan?
Run with the bulls, I guess.
My big large self does not like to run, so I'm gonna skydive.
Fair enough.
Gosh, this is such weird answers.
What about this one? So, would you rather shoot your next turkey at 30 yards or 5 feet? Garrett, not a lot of room for error with your pattern at 5 feet.
Oh, yeah, 5 feet is legitimately from here to the fridge there.
Mm-hmm.
5 feet.
5 feet?
Oh, yeah.
Logan? 5 feet
5
or
feet.
30 yards.
5 feet.
Also 5 feet. Just like gonna hit him with a 2x4
Oh, it'd
on
be,
the body.
It would literally be like a
Yeah,
lead
like a
fist.
baseball, like a baseball bat.
If the blood splatters on you at 5 feet, that'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
I bet, like, I'm serious. If you were to shoot a turkey with the shotgun, I would say it would legitimately remove its head.
Yeah.
At 5 feet? Yeah, I would say so.
And
If
again,
you
that's-
whack it in the neck, yeah.
And that's
Just
a
shoot
good,
its head
because I
clean
think
off.
30 yards is a per forgivingness range. You know, you got a good spread, but high BB count. Like, I see what you did there.
Okay. Would you rather eat ground turkey or ground pork, Garrett?
Turkey.
Logan?
Turkey.
I do love me some ground turkey.
Okay. Next segment, shoot or pass. You just tell me shoot or pass. Allie, the number one deer your partner, so in this case Logan would want to shoot next year, comes walking by, but you have your bow. Shoot or pass.
Pass.
Logan?
No cock blocking.
So,
So it would be Allie's number one deer that she would like to shoot.
I have.
But you have your bow or gun.
Oh, pass. Pass.
Pass?
I
Garrett?
would
I know-
expect you to
yeah.
do the same. I'm shooting it.
Yeah, I would. Duh.
We're
I'm
not
serious.
being nice.
Okay.
Like, let's be real here.
Yeah. Yep.
We've either
Mhm.
The way that we hunt is
No.
that it's
No doubt.
I would be pissed if you're like, this is your deer. I'm like, shoot that fucking deer.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Don't you shoot you right
I
now.
guess that makes sense. I mean,
Because
Yeah.
in the moment,
way that we
I would be so
Yeah.
freaking pumped for you. There is no like mine or yours. Like, yeah, we always have our favorites every year. Then like,
Mhm.
but no way, man.
Well, I mean, you guess like you can't guarantee that it's not going to go to the neighbors, and the neighbors isn't going to shoot it that same year.
It's not even
Ooh,
that.
that
How
is- yep,
often
you're
do
right,
you
you're
have a
right.
deer that you target in front of
Not
you at
very
an
often.
opportunity?
that's a good
Once
point.
a season, twice a season if
Yeah.
you're super fortunate. 3 if you're like, oh, holy hell.
That's
you know?
always what I forget is how
Extremely
fast
lucky,
the season
yeah.
goes, and like you might have 1 or 2 chance at a decent buck, so you
Yeah.
better make it count.
I feel like these
forgot
are
about
conversations
Isn't
that we
that
need to
the-
have.
Isn't that
Yeah,
the
we need to have
craziest
these
thing? It's like
You
You
hunt
know,
80
you hunt-
times for one opportunity.
you hunt 80 times for one opportunity. You hang all your deer stands, plant your food plots, listen to your podcast, gain your information, shoot your bow, shoot your gun, sight in everything, hang your trail cameras, pattern the deer for one
Yeah, so I guess if it's there, you
for
better
one
freaking shoot it.
sub
Yes.
2-minute interaction off.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, even though like it may be Logan's or out, like you guys would both be just as freaking
Yeah,
jacked.
that's true. I'd be super happy for you if you shot anything. And like my
yeah, I was jacked for you when you shot yours.
yeah.
Okay, next one. Allie, shoot or pass. There's a 160 class buck, and he's standing at 47 yards.
Shoot.
Logan.
Shoot. With what?
Your bow.
Your bow at 47 yards.
Is this a quiz?
Is it a trick question?
No. I would shoot.
Sure. Garrett?
Sending it.
Okay, so this is a trickier one. A buck with a fork on one side. It's a big fork and a spike on the other. But you've confirmed via trail camera, whether it be through you, your neighbors, whatever, you know that this deer is mature. He's big. He's been like this forever. Maybe he's 5+ years old for all you know. Shoot or pass, Garrett.
Shooting 100%. Because in my mind, like a 4, 5, 6-year-old deer isn't going to be the fork, horn, and spike that I think of. It's going to be like a banana with a dinner fork hanging
That'd be
off his
cool.
head. Like, 100%.
Nobody's got a big 3-pointer. Logan?
Allie, you go first.
If it had a lot of character, I would shoot it. I like those different looking deer.
Character, it's got 3 points, woman.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
if it wasn't, do you know what I mean? If it wasn't like a ding, like a little,
Yeah.
like a little tiny, like actual fork, if it was like
Yeah.
a pretty cool looking, sizable, nice deer, I would shoot it.
Okay. Logue.
And it's a non-typical, or what's
It has 3 points.
3 points on one side. A deer.
A
with
fork
mask.
on one side and a spike on the other.
Shoot.
Okay. Well, that kind of rounds us out. That's a lot of information thrown at you,
That was a
especially about
lot.
Logan and Ali. So
Yeah.
hopefully you
roller
guys
coaster of emotions.
You're gonna lose a lot of followers.
Oh my god.
hopefully you guys learned a little bit about
Oh.
those two.
I don't care about. Yeah, I'm like all over the place.
But yeah, that kind of rounds us out. So thank you guys for making the time tonight to have this conversation with us. A couple of announcements before we leave. Our launch party's booked July 23rd. That's a Friday. Free beer, free gear. You may or may not see an episode from Ali and Logan at the launch party. There will be 25 deer heads there, courtesy of Wayne Tompkins and Tompkins Taxidermy. Strong Hand will be there.
Take a strong hand. Take him
And your
home.
dad's
hell
deer
yeah.
and your uncle's deer.
Yep.
Gosh, that's crazy.
And did my uncle take his there?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Colton took his there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dad will have his there. That would be so freaking cool. I'm so excited for him.
I am. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yep. And our launch, our trailer is coming out for our launch party very soon. So keep an eye on our social platforms for that. Real quick here at the end, if you haven't become a part of the Last Breath Inner Circle yet, that's a Facebook group that Garrett started. Go on and get yourself in there. You guys are going to want to check out what we are doing for the next couple months. We've got a lot of really good partnership changes that we are very excited about that we are going to be talking about on there first. That'll be a podcast that's coming down the pipeline in the next couple weeks. And the biggest favor that, again, we could ask you for on behalf of our podcast and YouTube channel is just share us word of mouth. That's the biggest thing that you guys could do to help us grow. If you've got a person that is like, oh, man, my favorite podcast is over, I need another one, maybe tell them about ours. If you think the topics that we bring to the table are interesting, that's the goal of our podcast, is to bring you relevant, interesting information in a semi-condensed form and bring topics to the table that are thought-provoking. That's the goal. So thank you again for listening to our Huntcast, the Last Breath Huntcast. We will see you next Monday morning, in which we're going to talk about some coyotes, tips, tricks, and tactics. And that's it for us. Do you guys have anything before we go?
I don't think so.
No, we're just so excited to get this year rolling.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
All right.
Gonna be a good year.
Welcome aboard, you two. Don't waste it.